What's going on, guys, and welcome to my kitchen. I am going to share with you one of my favorite meals in and out of prep that's super easy to make, high in protein, has good fats, and only takes a couple minutes. So, a couple of ingredients that you're going to need are your choice of protein. I like to use a little bit of chicken sausage. We're going to use some egg whites, and then you can add fats either in the way of cheese or guacamole. So we're going to use guacamole today. Since I'm in prep, my first meal generally has no carbs, so it's just proteins and fats. I'm going to use 8 ounces of egg whites. I'm going to use 2.5 ounces of chicken sausage. I'm going to use one made little guacamole packet. Altogether, it comes out to about 50 grams of protein, the trace carbs 2 to 3 from the guacamole, and then about 8 grams of fat. So once you have your ingredients, you have your scale, you're going to go ahead and heat up a small size pan. Alright, so we're going to heat up our pan. I like to use this pan spritz rather than a spray. It doesn't have any aerosols in it, so you don't have to worry about the additives. We use about 3 to 4 sprays on that, so we're going to get this going. This is going to heat up our protein, and then while that's getting warm, we're going to go ahead and turn our other pan on to medium-high heat. Give that about 4 or 5 sprays and let that warm up. So the trick here is timing. We're going to try to make the perfect omelet, and it's all about making sure that your egg whites are ready to take your meat from here and put them in there. So let's get rolling. And we're going to weigh out, should be about 2.5 right here. What we're going to do is break this up into little pieces, plop it onto, going to let that cook. Again, medium to high heat, give it about 5 minutes. And then we're going to transfer it over into our pan with the egg whites. We don't want to start the egg whites until your protein starts to brown. The reason that I really love this meal is it's super versatile. You can add a lot of things to it. You can add some spinach or some greens before adding in your egg whites. You can use chicken sausage, you can use turkey, you can use beef, steak, whatever you want to do, shrimp. Just adding a couple of different variances changes it up a lot. Sometimes I'll put some salsa in there. So these are the guacamole cups that I was talking about. And basically they're just, there we go, they're self-serving cups. You can get them from Costco. They only have 7 grams of fat in them, so it's just very simple for a one-time use. So I'll use these, and then just for the added, because I have to have 8 grams of fat, I'll use just a little bit of Parmesan on the inside. And it's amazing how little or how much the flavor is changed by just a little bit of Parmesan. So our meat's starting to brown, so let's take a look at what we need to do next. So we got our meat starting to brown. Next thing we're going to do, take my egg whites. Now I've already measured out 8 ounces. I used half of this last night. We're going to go ahead and just pour this into the pan. And again, it's all about timing. We want to make sure that our egg whites are ready in a position to flip by the time that we are adding the meat. So the meat's starting to get really good now. It's browning up, it's starting to get firm. On your egg whites, do not add any salt to your egg whites until you take them out of the pan. Adding salt to them in the pan will typically cause them to stick, and we don't want that. To avoid having the egg whites stick within your pan, you want to make sure that you add all of your salt, all of your seasonings, either after you take them off or right before you take the eggs off. You want to make sure that they're firm enough. So, little tip of the day for you. I will add some seasoning to my chicken sausage. Usually it's garlic salt. And again, don't be afraid of salt. Sodium's not the enemy. As bodybuilders, as athletes, as just people that are working out hard day in and day out, and because we don't eat a lot of packaged food, we're not getting sodium in a lot of our meals. So it's important that you make sure to add sodium to your meals. Now, if you were eating prepackaged food, you wouldn't have to worry about it because a lot of those are very high in sodium. Because our main food sources are very clean, they're very direct packaged, you don't have to worry about having too much sodium. Eggs, you can see they're starting to bubble. Got our chicken sausage. What you want to do now is just kind of get it right on the outer third, right there. And now, turn this guy off. So now with where our egg whites are at, we can actually add some salt to this. So we're going to add a little bit of salt. We're going to add a little bit of Parmesan because this is 1 gram of fat for 5 grams of cheese, so we're just gonna put a little bit on there. I always like to add in just a splash of hot sauce. Just give it a little bit of added flavor. Now this is where you can decide what fats you want to use. You can either put, for me, I could do about 20 grams of cheese, or I can do one of these guacamole cups. I prefer the guacamole cups just because of the flavor and the texture. Here's what I usually do. I take about half, okay? Take half, and you just kind of spoon it on, lightly spread it out, maybe a little more than half. Same thing over here, lightly spread it out. We're ready for the flip. So here's the trick. You want to make sure that your egg whites are nice and firm. You're just going to take your spatula and kind of run it alongside. Then you're going to run it underneath. Make sure that we have no sticking points. And then once that's there, just give it the flip. Now once you flip it, turn your pan off, all right? Because we don't need to cook it anymore. So we're just going to let this go ahead and sit for a minute. Pull that into the middle. Then you're going to come from the other side and quickly turn it. Now again, on the turn, make sure the pan's off. So from here, I'm going to add a little bit more guacamole to the top. I'll probably add some hot sauce, and then it's just about done. All right, and there you have it, the perfect omelet. So again, super easy to make. Doesn't take a whole lot of time. I think it took us maybe 5 minutes in total. Again, you guys can swap out the avocado for cheese. You can add both depending on where your macros are at. Swap out the chicken for steak, turkey, shrimp, whatever you want to do. I appreciate you guys coming in, checking out my kitchen. I'm gonna have some more nutrition tips coming up for you as we go on. I have my last show of the season here in about 2 days. So we'll be recording that, and then from here on out, it's going to be a lot of nutrition tips, back to a lot of lifting tips. If there's anything that you guys want to see, let me know in the description box below. Also, tell me what your favorite breakfast is. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will catch you guys on the next one.